No car comes cheap, but let's be real, some are straight up insane. And the reason behind it is simple. It's all about rarity. Anyone who's hustled in any game will tell you when something's rare, the price shoots through the roof. These cars are living proof. So join us for today's video as we're going to take a look at 15 of the most expensive and rare cars of all time. Let's start off with number 5. Zane 1957 Jaguar XKSS. This Jaguar is a weird mix of brilliance, tragedy, and pure Hollywood glam. Jaguar originally planned to make 25 road-going versions of their fierce D-type race cars. Only 16 were finished before a fire at the Browns Lane factory destroyed the rest. Fast forward to 2016, and Jaguar finally decided to build the missing 9 using the exact same techniques and specifications. Whether you count those as originals or not is up for debate. The XKSS was built for the booming US market, and it brought serious racing DNA onto public roads. Then, in 1958, Steve McQueen bought one for $5,000, and history was made. He was often spotted ripping through the streets of LA in it, and because of that, today his personal XKSS is valued at north of $30 million. A regular first-run XKSS, though, will still set you back around $1.5 million. Not exactly pocket change, but for a legend this pure, it is absolutely worth it. Number Veyron. Jaguar XK120C. Auction floors have seen some wild moments, but few top the 1953 Jaguar XK120C that sold for a staggering $13.2 million in Italy back in 2015. Known widely as the C-Type, this racing sports car rewrote the rules of performance when it first appeared between 1951 and 1953. Built around a lightweight tubular frame and designed with aerodynamics in mind, it pushed boundaries far beyond its time. Only 53 units were ever produced, which explains the sky-high prices today. Under its hood, the street version housed a 3.4-liter engine capable of delivering between 160 and 180 brake horsepower. Meanwhile, the racetrack versions were tuned up to unleash 205 brake horsepower, a serious figure back then. The C-Type's engineering genius helped Jaguar take home 2 victories at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, first in 1951 and then again in 1953. Owning one today is like owning a passport to another era, where craftsmanship, daring, and speed ruled the road, and history was written in tire marks. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz SType Sports Tourer. There is something hauntingly beautiful about the Mercedes-Benz SType Sports Tourer from 1928. Emerging from the early years of automotive innovation, this vehicle stood at the cutting edge of speed and luxury. Mercedes and Benz had merged only 2 years earlier, and the S-Type became one of their first true masterpieces. Capable of hitting 100 miles per hour, a figure that felt almost reckless in 1928, this car pushed boundaries few others dared. Originally costing around $7,000, it was a serious investment even back then. Today, preserved examples can fetch between $5 and $6 million at auction, especially if they retain original parts. The S-Type sweeping fenders, massive supercharged engines, and long hoods capture an era when automobiles were still a marvel, not a necessity. Driving one today would be pure theater, but survival would depend a lot on luck, considering the S-Type's complete lack of modern safety features. It is a relic of roaring ambition, and a beautiful one at that. Number 12. Maybach XLOO. Some cars look like they came from another planet, and the 2008 Maybach XLOO fits that bill perfectly without any question. Dreamed up as a collaboration between Stola and Daimler Chrysler, this one-off concept car turned heads instantly when it was unveiled in Berlin in 2005. The sheer power under the hood is something fierce, a twin-turbocharged V12 engine that propels the beast to a top speed of 218 miles per hour. hitting 62 miles per hour from a standstill in just 4.4 seconds. But it is not just about speed. The XLOO's body screams intimidation, with a silhouette that might have been sketched straight out of a Batman fever dream. Inside, luxury runs wild. Dark and red leather wrap the seats, while carbon fiber, neoprene, and aluminum accents complete the over-the-top look. The XLOO has popped up in music videos, hip-hop lyrics, and even anime, gaining a bizarre pop culture cult status. It stands today as a dazzling monument to outrageous design, obscene wealth, and unapologetic ambition. Number 11. Porsche 550 Spider. Among classic race cars, the Porsche 550 Spider holds a particularly haunting place in history. Built between 1953 and 1956, only 90 examples of the 550 Spider were ever made, each one a featherweight mid-engine rocket. Designed purely for racing, the car dominated its classes in the 1.1 and 1.5-liter divisions, usually finishing among the top three. Its four-cylinder, air-cooled engine might seem modest by today's standards, but in its prime, it was brutally effective. What has elevated the 550 Spider to near-mythic status, though, is its connection to James Dean. The Hollywood legend purchased one in 1955, nicknamed it Little Bastard, and was tragically killed while driving it only days later. That single event cemented the car's legacy in both racing and pop culture. Even after all these years, collectors go to incredible lengths to own one. A 1957 550A Spider sold for $4.9 million in 2018. Once taxes and fees stack up, ownership easily slides into the $6 million range. But will anyone really drive this car? Number 10. Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. The 1962 Aston Martin GT Zagato feels less like a car and more like a sculpture you can drive. First shown at the London Motor Show in 1960, it immediately made jaws drop. Designed by the legendary Italian firm Zagato, the car was supposed to have a production run of 25 units. Reality hit differently, though. Only 20 were ever built, thanks to the steep price and limited buyers who could actually afford such elegance. Today, snagging an original DB4 GT Zagato will cost you around $14.3 million, and even that feels like a bargain for something this rare. Later collaborations between Aston Martin and Zagato resulted in additional models labeled Sanction 2 and 3, but hardcore collectors know the originals are the real crown jewels. Sadly, a black market of replicas built from regular DB4Cs now muddies the waters. Owning a true DB4 GT Zagato is not just about having money, it is about owning a sacred piece of automotive royalty. Number 9. Ferrari F40 LM. Among Ferrari fanatics, the F40 holds a special, almost untouchable place. But the F40 LM version, that is a different animal entirely. Born from the mind of Michelotto Automobili, the LM variant was a track-focused weapon stripped down and rebuilt to conquer endurance racing. Only 19 examples of the F40 LM were ever produced, making them rare even by Ferrari standards. Beneath the aggressive, race-ready body sits a twin-turbocharged V8 engine tuned to squeeze out over 700 horsepower, far beyond the already wild standard F40. Originally selling for around $400,000, adjusted for today's inflation, it would hover closer to $860,000. Yet that figure looks tiny compared to what collectors now pay. An F40 LM today commands about $3.3 million if you can even find one. Drivers like Nigel Mansell once enjoyed their brutal charm. Meanwhile, others like the infamous Uday Hussein use them for far less noble purposes. Even now, decades later, the F40 LM radiates pure feral energy like almost nothing else. Number 8. Pagani Huayra BC. If speed had a sculptor, Horacio Pagani would be it, and the 2017 Pagani Huayra BC is a testament to that artistry. Named after Pagani's late friend and the first customer of the brand, Benny Caiola, the Huayra BC took everything insane about the original Huayra and cranked it into something even more feral. Beneath the sleek skin sits a 6-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine capable of bending physics to its will. Production was brutally limited, with only 20 units ever made, all snapped up long before the official launch. Built for blistering speed and razor-sharp handling, this so-called hypercar is not just fast, it feels alive, an extension of the driver's own instincts. Every panel, every bolt, every intake was engineered for maximum aggression, shedding unnecessary weight and ramping up downforce. At a price of around $2.5 million, yup, million with capital M, the Huayra BC is not simply a car, it is a handcrafted missile for the road, a love letter to mechanical perfection and raw, unapologetic power. Number 7. 1970 Porsche 917. The Porsche 917 is the kind of machine that legends are built around. Created to dominate endurance racing, the 917 secured Porsche's first overall win at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1970. But its legacy did not end at the racetrack. Steve McQueen, with his eternal love for fast cars, immortalized the Porsche 917 in his cult classic film Le Mans. That exposure cemented the 917's place as not just a racing icon but a cultural one. In 2017, the very Porsche used in the movie was auctioned off for an insane $14 million. It is no small wonder why. This car's thundering flat 12 engine, absurdly light frame and death-defying top speeds made it a terror on the track. The 917 was never built for gentle Sunday cruises. It was built to win and to scare the absolute life out of anyone who dared challenge it. Today, owning one is like owning a living piece of motorsport mythology. What do you think about this beauty? Well, let us know. Number 6. Alfa Romeo 33 Straddle. The Alfa Romeo 33 Straddle is one of those rare cars that feels more like a piece of art than a machine. Built between 1967 and 1969, only 18 were ever produced, each painstakingly crafted to bring a racing car's soul to the open road. Straddle means road-going in Italian, and Alfa managed to preserve almost all of the Tipo 33's raw aggression while creating something stunning to look at. Powered by a 2-liter V8 engine with mechanical fuel injection, the Straddle could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds, serious numbers even today, let alone in the late 60s. At its release, it carried a price tag of around $6,150, which was astronomical at the time. Now, if one ever comes up for sale, prices start around $3 million, but most collectors know that figure could soar much higher. Scarcity, beauty, and raw racing DNA make the 33 Straddle a true unicorn. Number 5. McLaren F1. The 1998 McLaren F1 LM was born to honor McLaren's jaw-dropping performance at the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans. Only 5 units of the F1 LM were ever made, and every single one is a complete monster. It is built off the same chassis as the legendary McLaren F1, but stripped down for pure vicious speed. Comfort? Forget it. Air conditioning? Not a chance. This is a weapon, not a cruiser. Painted in a brilliant papaya orange that punches you in the face, the F1 LM dropped over 130 pounds compared to the original F1 by ripping out all the unnecessary weight. It still uses that howling BMW-sourced V12 engine but breathes unrestricted fury without the GTR's race limiters. 0 to 60 miles per hour happens in 3.9 seconds, and it hits 100 miles per hour in just 6.7 seconds. The Sultan of Brunei famously bought 3 of them, because when you are royalty, apparently, one of the world's rarest hypercars just is not enough. Number 4. Mansouri Bugatti Veyron Lineia Vivere. We've seen nothing more beautiful like this. Bugatti's Veyron was already a hypercar legend. Then Mansory got involved and created something even crazier, the Lineia Veyron. As if the original Veyron's insane performance was not enough, Mansory reimagined the exterior and interior, giving the Lineia Veyron an even sharper edge. The body features an intricate weave of exposed carbon fiber, enhancing not just looks but also performance. Inside, handcrafted luxury dominates every inch, from custom leather to bespoke trim. Under the hood, the massive 8.0-liter W16 engine remains, unleashing over 1,200 horsepower and rocketing the car to over 250 miles per hour. Limited production numbers ensure the Lineia Veyron's exclusivity, and today, owning one will cost you around $3.4 million, if you can even find a seller willing to part with it. Everything about this car, from its brutal power to its obsessive craftsmanship, screams excess. It is a machine built for the few who see a normal Bugatti and think needs more. Number 3. Oldsmobile Fatonto. Back in 1954, the Oldsmobile F88 looked like a dream spilled onto a highway. Designed by Bill Lang and often attributed to Harley Earl's legendary design studio, the F88 blurred the line between fantasy and road reality. Built on a Chevrolet Corvette chassis and fitted with a fiberglass body, the car was powered by a 5.3-liter Super 88 V8 engine capable of around 250 horsepower. Only one example survives today, making it a true one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Rumors swirl about other prototypes, but one supposedly burned in a fire, sealing the F88's place as a solo legend. When it crossed the auction block at Barrett-Jackson, it commanded an eye-watering $3.24 million. Now housed at the Gateway, Colorado Automobile Museum, the F88 never really got to stretch its legs as a road car. Instead, it remains an artifact, a perfect example of 1950s automotive imagination frozen in time. It is what happens when engineers build cars for dreams instead of stoplights. Instead of focusing on cash, they focus on comfort. Number 2. Pagani Zonda Revolution. Some cars whisper elegance. The 2013 Pagani Zonda Revolution howls chaos. This was Pagani's ultimate send-off to the Zonda line, squeezing every drop of madness out of their beloved supercar. Only 5 were ever made, each one dripping with exclusivity and pure aggression. Built around a 6-liter Mercedes-AMG V12 engine, the Revolution produces a mind-bending 789 horsepower. Thanks to a sequential gearbox that shifts gears in just 20 milliseconds, the car feels less like a machine and more like an extension of raw instinct. The lightweight construction, extreme aerodynamics, and track-tuned handling mean this thing is not meant for public streets. It is built to destroy lap times and defy physics. It cost about $2.2 million when it rolled out, but add in taxes and extras, and owners were writing checks closer to $2.6 million. Zonda Revolutions rarely change hands today. They live mostly in private collections, hidden away like dragons guarding treasure, only unleashed when the right track calls. Number 1. Spirit of Nemo. The Spirit of Nemo is not your average custom build. It is a full-blown tribute to fantasy, crafted by North Carolina's own Ken Freeman. This 24-foot-long 6-wheeled convertible was inspired by the wild ride Captain Nemo piloted in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Most movie cars are all show and no go, but this beast truly drives like a dream. With quad front steering and a monstrous 425 cubic inch V8 engine tucked inside, the Spirit of Nemo is a road-going machine that somehow looks even better than its on-screen inspiration. The attention to detail is insane. Every panel, every surface, even up close, holds up under scrutiny. In fact, it is far better finished than almost anything Hollywood has ever put together. Freeman did not just build a car, he built a living, roaring piece of art. Of course, good luck trying to park it anywhere. And reversing? You might want to call in a tactical unit. Some things are meant to be admired, not parallel parked. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like it, share it, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you soon.